We're in the night. Tell me when you're rolling. We're in the Niner locker room with Taybor Pepper, Niners long snapper, and obviously this team's playing well. And give me the vibe. Describe what it's like in this room.
I think we know what we have in the locker room as far as the guys and talent. It just seems like one of those rosters where if somebody does go down, there's somebody that you trust that can pick up the slack in the meantime. But yeah, it's an awesome locker room. Most everybody, some locker rooms, it's almost like guys are like passing ships in the night, kind of just don't really acknowledge each other. But this is probably the most family environment I've felt in my 5 years of playing so far.
The defense obviously is number one. The offense has probably the best weapons in the game. But the special teams investment in the offseason is really starting to pay off. You've seen it. You got Warren Burks, you got Ray McLeod. George Odom has just been phenomenal. I mean, to me, that investment in veteran special teams players has made a difference.
Yeah, it's fun to see because when you have guys who, know their impact on special teams, it permeates throughout the rest of it. Because every week we see film of George running down on kickoff like his hair's on fire. You watch him before every rep of kickoff. He's trying to pump the crowd up because that's just who he is. He's on all the time. He is an amazing special teams leader. He prepares the right way, and it's one of those things that kind of starts from your top guys and kind of washes down to these rookies who can now see a guy who puts such an impact on special teams and how important it is to the team. That's important for young guys to see, and that's what's so special about the guys we have in the special teams room.
Tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
It's kind of all over. Born in Illinois. When I was 6, I moved to Oklahoma. 15, I moved to Michigan, and then with the league and everything, I've kind of just been everywhere.
Who was your team growing up? Bears or?
Nobody really, because when we moved to Oklahoma, my mom refused to let me be a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So I kind of was just.
God bless her soul.
I just kind of just watched the NFL, not really rooting for anyone, but.
Right.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of history rundown of the NFL once I, was sticking with the team and stuff. Because I watched college sports mostly growing up.
Sooners?
Yeah. No, not Sooners. My dad worked for Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Yeah. Go Pokes. So.
Tate Martin over there is.
Yeah.
They had a rough night last night with Wisconsin.
And one of our EQ guys, Doc, he's a huge Pokes fan. So.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. What's it like living in Oklahoma? I mean, I'm from California, so I'm used to earthquakes, but I see Tornado Alley and some of these shows on the Weather Channel, and I'm like, how do people continue to live in more Oklahoma?
Well, so
rampaged every couple of years.
Where I lived was 15 minutes north of Tulsa, and so in this early spring, the local news stations will throw almost like assemblies in high school auditoriums, and it'll be tornado education. So I could just spout off a ton of tornado facts, and if the sky's green, get inside, because that's usually what you see before a big tornado hits. But we used to have our bike helmets ready, get ready to pull a mattress in the center bathroom of the house, all of that. I can tell you everything you need to know to get through.
Have you actually lived through
one was about a mile
really
from
close?
My house one time, and it was actually funny because it was when I was getting old enough to watch my sister. My parents could leave, and I think my mom went to run errands on the other side of town, and it kind of just out of nowhere just boom right there, because they can just happen kind of without any prediction. And I just remember being on the phone with her, and our attic door, because the pressure changes so much, was slamming and closing and opening, just going goong, goong, goong upstairs. So yeah, that was the craziest one, but luckily it didn't get anywhere near our neighborhood or anything, but about a mile off.
New Year's, you guys play New Year's Day. Any New Year's resolutions for this upcoming year?
The Niners had us filming some selfie style, so mine was making the Pro Bowl in 23.
There you go.
Yep.
How close do you think you came this year? Because I think you probably
fan vote, I was number 2 overall in the NFL, behind the NFC guys, so I lost the fan vote. But there's a lot of great guys all over the league, and going into my 6th year next year, hopefully I'll be in a pretty good spot.
Did you know as a high school football player that you potentially could make when did you realize, what, I actually have a chance I could be pro?
Pro took a little bit longer, but in high school, I was my dad played college football, so in high school it was 10th grade, and I was 4th string wide receiver, 3rd string D end. And I was how am I I always thought, you know, oh, I'm going to play in college too, like my dad. Then 10th grade it hit me. I'm like, wait, how am I going to get on a college team if I can't even get reps at wide receiver on JV?
Right.
So I had been long snapping since 8th grade at that point, and kind of just took it seriously from there, and knew I could get into college with it. And then once I was in college, probably around my sophomore year, is kind of whenever I decided to pedal to the floor and hit it hard.
What's the key to it? What's the key to being a great long snapper?
Don't aim.
Okay.
Just snap as hard as you can.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you have to communicate something to the holder or the kicker, or they're different? Is it you snap and they react to you, or do you snap the way they like it?
There's ways, you know, you can tailor your snap for your holder and stuff. Like Mitch knows where my misses are going to be, so he's not going to be as freaked out as if, you know, my snap is one high, one low, whatever. He knows where my misses are, so even if I have a miss, it doesn't look like it on TV. So we got each other's back, and if I make a mistake, it's up to Mitch to reduce that for Robbie, and if Mitch makes a mistake, it's up to Robbie to reduce that for the rest of us. So
December, do you use gloves?
no, could never do it. I see some guys do it. 2 guys in the league do it. I don't understand how. It makes my release point has to be like way lower than normal, because the gloves just stick to the ball so well.
Give me something about Robbie that you notice that makes him a pro's pro that we don't see because we just don't watch the game that closely. I mean, I know he's money on these kicks inside of 50, but
he has a more kind of overview role than most people would see, kind of just taking care of the young guys and stuff like that. He's an amazing leader, so I think that's kind of his secret sauce aside from kicking.
You're in a bar fight. You can have one guy in the room.
Javon Kinlaw. It's not even a question.
You didn't have to think that one.
Not even a question. He's not even here, but I can see about where his head would be.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me one trait of Brock Purdy that you know that we don't know.
Well, I'll never forget when I saw kind of I feel like everybody says this, kind of saw the cojones on him, was I think it was against Minnesota this year. We were in the red zone, and he was kind of rolling out, and he stopped real quick and threw a touchdown pass, or one close to it. But the way he stopped and kind of was just calm in that moment, you kind of saw it a little bit this weekend when he rolled out and shook that defender and was able to throw the pass away.
Appreciate your time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, very last thing.
Yeah.
Are you the best Twitter follow on the team?
Oh, easily. Yeah. Not even a question.